I feel pretty lost right now. I'm 35, I'm on the verge of losing my job, and for the first time in a long time, I don't really know what's next. So, what's strange is I did everything I was told to do. That I went to school, got a degree, stayed out of trouble, worked hard, the good old suggestion by our parents, make responsible decisions. I followed the path that was supposed to lead somewhere, but here I am, wondering how I ended up feeling so uncertain about my future. So, this isn't a video about blaming anyone or complaining about life. It's more of just an honest look at where I am right now. Because if I'm being completely honest, I don't have everything figured out. In fact, I don't have much figured out at all. And maybe there are people out there who feel the same way. When did it all start? So, yeah, I grew up in a pretty traditional middle class family. My father made decent money. My mother is a stay at home mom. And overall, we live a comfortable life. Looking back, I'd even say I was a little spoiled. Not in an extreme way, but I didn't really have to worry much about growing up. I also have a sister. She was always a bit troublesome, ran away from home at one point, and eventually became a young mother. But before I make it sound like she's the villain of the story, let me tell you something. She was the one who was actually helping me and supporting me financially when I was in college. As for me, I wasn't exactly a star student either. I didn't do very well during my early years in school. It took me a long time to mature and take things seriously. By the time I reached college, I had improved, but I was never the type of a person who seemed destined for success. Eventually, I found a job. It wasn't glamorous, but it was honest work. The job involved a lot of physical labor and constant travel. It was exhausting at times, but I stuck with it. 1 year turned into two, and before I knew it, I had spent 8 years there. Then life changed. My father passed away. That was the moment everything shifted, I believe, not just financially, but emotionally. My mother's health wasn't in the best condition, and she became extremely stressed whenever I had to travel for work. She worried constantly. Eventually, she asked me to stay at home and take care of her. So I left the job I had spent 8 years building my life around and became my mother's caregiver. Around the same time, my sister had also returned home with her son. Suddenly, all of us were living under one roof again, and now our family's primary source of income was her pension, my mom's pension. To be honest, it wasn't where I imagined I'd be at this stage of my life. There were days when I felt lost, days when I questioned whether I had made the right choices, days when I wondered if I was falling behind while everyone else seemed to be moving forward. But yeah, I kept going. I started looking for opportunities online. I sent applications, learned new skills, and searched for anything that could help me earn an income while staying at home. Eventually, I found a work from home job. At first, it felt like things were finally turning around, but reality wasn't quite what I expected. The work itself wasn't terrible, but the biggest problem was that the pay was always late. Every month felt uncertain. Every payday came with anxiety. Instead of focusing on doing good work, I found myself constantly wondering when the money would arrive. Still, I kept pushing forward because that's what I've always done, but it was just not that stable, so I had to leave. Financially, things have become harder as well. When my mom passed away in 2024, we lost the pension that helped supported the household. Since then, there's been constant awareness that there is less room for mistakes and less of a safety net than before. The pressure to contribute and stay employed feels heavier because of it. But even with everything that's happened, I still believe things can improve. I know that sitting still won't change anything, so I kept looking for opportunities and trying to figure out what my next move is. I don't have all the answers right now, and I don't have a clear roadmap for the future, but not everything is bad though. Lately, I've been trying to spend more time doing things that I actually enjoy instead of always thinking about whether they can make me money. It felt like every hobby had to become a side hustle, and honestly, that takes a lot of the fun out of it. And one thing I've gotten interested in recently is game development. I've played games for most of my life, but I never really thought much about how they are made. The more I learn about it, the more interesting it becomes. It's pretty cool seeing how everything comes together behind the scenes. I have a little bit of programming background, so I'm hoping it won't be too difficult to get started. I'm sure there will be a lot to learn, but yeah, that's part of the fun. So right now, I'm not doing it because I think it's going to make me money or solve all my problems. I'm doing it because I think I'll enjoy it. Maybe it turns into something useful in the future. Maybe it doesn't. Either way, it's nice to have something to that keeps me curious and gives me something to work on. I still don't know exactly what the future looks like. My job situation is uncertain. Money is tighter than it used to be, and yeah, very lost. I don't have some big inspiring ending or success story. I'm still in the middle of figuring things out, but yeah, as long as I keep moving forward, even a little bit at a time, I think that's enough.